Alright, so week 2 dog training is on leash skills, and the loose leash walking, petting the dog, and when not to pet a dog, how to get a dog used to being handled, and how to desensitize them. By now, the dog should know that the mark, your yes, is a great thing. Every time you say it, they should get excited. Automatic focus, they should be giving you more focus by the week's worth of practicing as much as possible throughout the day, as long as it's only between 5 and 10 minutes at a time, just so the dog isn't overworked. Using real life situations. Also, the hand target, where the dog goes and touches your hand, and you just have to, no treat in your hand at this point. Nice, clean hands here, and the dog can still, boop, I know what I'm doing. I don't need a treat anymore. And the sit. So, of course, the sit. No treat in my hand. You're just asking, just like with your hand upwards, and the dog sits. If the dog is not doing that by now, or sometimes has trouble, there's always the part where, actually I can show you on this little picture right here. So you usually kind of take your hand, go around that tail, hold it all together, and you see how it kind of bends right here? You'll put your whole arm there. You'll put just very little pressure, and you'll take your other arm and you'll push that way on the chest, just with your hand, just very lightly, while your whole arm does a swoop motion under the dog. So what you're essentially doing is, hey, I want you to sit, buddy. You can also do that to gently have them sit on their butt. What you don't want to do is put any kind of pressure here on their back. Because especially with older dogs, younger dogs, what have you, what you're going to be doing to that dog is causing hip dysplasia, where the hip bones are not quite locking up correctly. Like, say, like, the hip and that joint that goes in there, every time you push down on them and they're trying to resist you from going down, you're basically having your dog's bones kind of do this. Their joints just causing that all kinds of whack. So if you don't want that very expensive vet bill, never ever push on their back end, ever. So with the technique I kind of showed you right now, you're very gently doing that, not causing any kind of stress on them whatsoever. So on leash skills, kitty, get out of here. Get out of here. Oh God. Alright, I'm done. Scared the kitty. When I scared the kitty, it activated prey drive, and the dogs were just like, chase kitty. Got it. We've only been living together for, one of them for 12 years, the other one for 7 years, but yeah, hey, let's chase this kitty now. That'd be great. Wait, she's only 9. Bella's 10. She's my oldest one. So, 10 years. The cat's the oldest. Whatever. One of the loose leash techniques is make sure you always have a firm grip on the leash. If you do not have a firm grip, goodbye dog, it runs into the road and dies. That's worst case scenario, but sometimes with that kind of helps people put in perspective of what could possibly happen. Also, I told someone, please hold your dog like this. I don't care, as long as you have the leash firmly in your hand. If you do this, it can slide off at any moment you're not paying attention and you lose your dog. Or don't do this, because how do you know if the dog is pulling if you constantly have tension on your hand? Like, are they pulling? Oh, we're both uncomfortable. I'm feeling stressed. The dog's feeling stressed. And we're just, oh, let me change hands real quick. Oh, I lost my leash, whatnot, what have you. And this lady tried to argue with me. It never falls off. This is how I carry my dog all the time. I see no issue with it. And I was like, you here to learn or not? If you know everything, then why are you here? Well, she opened the classroom door to take her dog inside the class, and she was holding it like this. Seconds later, after disagreeing of the proper way to hold a leash seconds later. I mean, it was karma at its glorious moment. I don't know how else to describe it, but she just, hold it like this, ma'am. No, this doesn't fall off. That doesn't happen. Seconds later, her dog ran outside into the parking lot with some of the busiest traffic we've had in months. There was cars everywhere. Beep, beep. Why is there a dog in the road? And she was panicked, and she was like, oh my gosh, my dog. And I was like, what did we learn? Just because it didn't happen one day does not mean it won't happen another day. So hold it like that. So after that day, she started holding it like that. She was not letting go, which is good. You always know where your leash is. You're not like, oh, no, I'm not paying attention. Oh, it's gone. Oh, it's gone. No, you know where it's at. When you're on a walk and you have your leash, you want to make sure that you're not tripping over it. You're making sure your dog is not tripping over it. So when we're doing this and we have extra leash dragging on the ground, we go ahead and take it and we put it in our hand. That way when the dog needs some more slack, they can just easily, move about and get that extra slack. Oh, the dog is too close to me. Leash is all over the floor. Let's pick that up. Sometimes I like to tell people, you can hang on to this and that extra leash, you can try to just hang on to it with your hand. Just like that. And I tell people, don't be in that habit of doing this though, because then you get into another bad habit that does not help your dog from not pulling anymore, which is pulling on your dog. Ugh. I'm like, what are you doing? Put your hands down. Hold it like this, just a finger or two, and just kind of, it's just to get it off the floor so you don't trip. Why are you holding it with both hands? They're just, I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. So, like this, when they start gripping the other side, they don't let go. They're like, I have to hang on to it. I don't know why. So I tell them, let go. It's not meant to steer. That's why we learn the hand target. That's why we learn the focus. That's why we learn the sit. That's why we have treats to lure our dog where we need it to be. Why we have these happy sounds like, yes, you're doing good. Let's get excited. Who's your good puppy? Who's your good puppy? Get our dogs where we need them to be. Because if we're constantly move here, dog, they're learning absolutely nothing. They just learned that pulling is okay. It makes you happy because it gets them to where they need to be. Kids. Alright, so apparently the little boy smacked the little girl in the head. And then after that, put a thumbtack through the door so he can hang up the picture of that Hercules cartoon, Meg. I don't know, maybe this is post-up girl. I don't know, pin-up girl? She was on a pin. She was a pin-up girl. Knee slapper. Anyways, holding, getting out of the way, your dog's far away. There's still a little bit of a loop on the leash. Go ahead, let that go. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and relax your hands at your side. Don't be that person like, ugh, ugh. They'll be practicing getting that arm. Just, I walk like this now. Don't be that person. You're going to be uncomfortable. Your dog's going to be uncomfortable. You always want to see a loop in your leash. If you see it like this, you want to go ahead, stop walking. Every time you walk with your dog, when they pull, it makes them want to pull more. So when they start to pull you, immediately stop. Don't take a couple steps. Should I stop? No, immediately stop. Don't move until they put some slack in your leash or they look at you for direction and what to do next. And then you tell them when they start to loosen that leash, yes. Or if they look at you, yes. If they're just constantly like, I want to get there, I'm overly excited, whatever is over there is just so great. They're just like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. It's just, if I pull hard enough, I can get to where I want. Then you just go ahead and just turn around, walk the other way. Find a spot where they're not excited. Start there. Get to something exciting calmly. If the dog cannot get there calmly, then never get there. They will never have that until they are calm. And what I mean by that is you're going to have an imaginary line. A little blue line. This is where they are calm. Then you will walk to something exciting. And every time they pull and they get overly excited, you're going to go all the way back to that imaginary line where they were calm. And then you will walk towards the exciting thing. And no matter if you're this close, this close, this close, this close, I don't care how close you think you got. Always turn around. You can be right on top of that exciting thing. Like, hey, there's a ball here. Let's go take that ball. And now we're excited. We're jumping. Woo! We're barking. We're excited. You can be right on top of that ball. Nope. All the way back to the start line so they know they are always, no matter what, calm. Getting to that exciting thing. So they don't get in a bad habit of pulling whenever they're excited. Oh my God, my son's throwing a fit now. He's screaming and hollering and throwing toys. Okay, someone's gonna get this leash up on our ass, okay? Make sure this collar, if you have a harness that hooks up to the back, that gives them more, what's the word I'm looking for? More traction, I think that's I want to use, but when it's on their back with the harness, that gives them more ways of being able to pull you in the direction they want to go. So I usually tell people with the collar, you will go the other way. And he's like, oh, I gotta go with you. He doesn't have that opportunity to kind of just pull away. There's also a harness that hooks up in the front. Not like a normal harness that just hooks into the front. It's a training harness. Works way different than a regular harness. But it has what they call a martingale, where it's like kind of like a martingale is like where I have like the normal collar or harness, whatnot, and then I'll have a separate one of a circle, and it'll be hooked up on both sides, and then you hook it up here. So when the dog pulls, it becomes tighter in that certain area, and that way they can't slip out of it and whatnot. But yeah, this training harness will hook up right in the front. So when you go to walk somewhere and the dog tries to run up ahead of you, or you're going an opposite direction, immediately that body is pulled in that direction. I started off on her one, worked beautifully. She no longer pulls whatsoever. But remember to always teach them how to walk on a leash, how to walk on a collar, harness, what have you. Teach them. So when that device comes off, they still know how to walk without pulling. The whole idea of it is where the head goes, the body will follow. So if the head is going that way, the body will go that way. They also have a little training, not a muzzle, because they can still eat and drink. They could bite somebody if they really wanted to. It's just loosely over their muzzle, and it hooks up down here. And again, the concept is where the head goes, the body will follow. And it just hooks up, and you walk them like that. That one takes a little bit longer for dogs to get used to. I had her on that at one point too. And again, after she was used to it, walked beautifully. Then we moved over to the front one, and then we moved over to just kind of going into PetSmart with just the collar. And she just kind of walks around, all gentle, doesn't pull or anything. But then again, I taught her heel as well, and that's where they walk on the side of you, and they don't leave your side. So again, look for that U shape, whether it's a little bit of a U shape or a little bit bigger one, but always look for some sort of looseness in the leash, hinting at the name of this, loose leash walking. If you are like this, you are not loose leash walking. You are walking a dog that is pulling. And if you're walking while he is pulling, you're teaching him pulling is okay. Some of the things I'm going to go over is when you have your leash, you usually start off with your dog beside you. And you have your leash right in front of their leash. You have their treat right in front of their mouth, their nose, what have you. And you start adding certain words that mean movement. And anytime we tell them a word, we also have to use movement. We also have to use movement to say this means a movement. This word I'm giving you is a movement, and I'm going to show you because I'm moving as well. When your dog moves with you, you always tell them yes. When they look at you on a walk, which is very difficult for them because there's so many other distractions, you get overly excited with your yes. You give them a little party. You give them baby talk. You give them scritches. You give them treats. You get just super excited. Here's a little doggy party. I'm going to make it rain treats because you looked at me during a walk when it's the most distracting time of your life. Encourage them to look at you more on a walk. So, when you guys are walking, you guys are learning how to walk, I usually tell people, have the dog on the side of you, have a little treat right by their face, and as you walk, without stopping, you walk, let's go. And again, you can use whatever word you want, walk, go, what have you. Just as long as it's a word you can use continuously without messing it up. Because if you start adding in different words, again, they will get confused and it'll make your training experience a lot harder and tougher and just miserable. So you have your treat, you walk with your dog, let's go. And you tell them yes when you start seeing those paw prints moving with you. It's like as soon as they start walking, immediately yes. You don't go like, let's walk around this whole entire house. Let's walk around the whole down the block before I finally say yes. No, you're waiting way too long. Dog brains are very short. You tell them yes the second they start moving those paws with you. So you say you take 2 steps and your dog's next to you, they take 2 steps, yes, immediately. Even 1 step. Just them moving with you the second they do it, yes. And that's how you catch them as soon as they're doing something correctly. Not 5, 10 steps later. No, they waited too long. Just as soon as they start going with you, yes, here's your treat. You want them to change direction. You want them, no matter which way you're facing, to follow you. Then you want to go ahead and have the dog sitting right in front of you. Again, you're going to take your treat. You're going to put it right up to their nose or their mouth. And you're going to walk backwards. And you're going to say, this way. So you're going to go ahead, this way. And the second you see those paws going with you, because if they're just stretching, that's not what you want. The second you see those paws move, yes. You tell them yes, because they're moving with you. And also you never want to be in that habit, which I see a lot. Even people who are about to graduate, I'm like, okay, let's see how your walking is doing. You've been doing good all week. And then I'll see it. I'm like, have you been practicing like that this whole time? They're like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, why didn't I see this before? Because at the time, the store was not busy, so I couldn't see them do this crucial mistake where they're telling the dog, let's go, this way, and then just kind of sitting there. It's a movement. We're asking our dog to move. And if we're not moving, they're not moving. So I see people all the time, they do it even right after I tell them not to. They'll say, let's go, and then they'll stand there. I'm like, why are you standing there? I'll do that to people. I don't care. I'm just like, move it. Get those feet moving. And they start walking, and they're like, he's not walking with me. What do I do? Am I just going to drag him? And I was like, you've walked 10 feet. Look behind you. And the dog's like, I saw you moving, and I immediately got up, but you turned away and were discouraged immediately. Don't be discouraged. If you start walking, they start walking. They try to pull because they don't feel like going that direction. Just keep going. They start to learn, I need to follow you. I need to do what you're doing, or I will be left behind. Same thing, if a dog stops, keep going. A lot of people, like, they see a dog stop. Oh, I can't go anywhere, my dog stopped. Who exactly is in charge of this walk? What do you want to do? Do you want to stop? If you don't want to stop, keep going. And the dog's like, oh, I got to keep up. Another one they'll do is, I don't feel like really paying attention to you, so I'm going to go smell that right in front of you. And you're just like, really? You're in my path. And they're just like, whatever, go around. Most people do. They'll tell their dog, move, get out of my way, excuse me. I mean, they'll do any word they possibly can think of. Dog's right here, and those person's right here. Actually, just for color reference, person's right here, right behind him. The dog's over here sniffing. Excuse me. And then that person will walk right around their dog. So since dogs can't speak our language, that excuse me, which we interpret as can you get out of my way politely, to a dog, the way you used it is excuse me means don't worry about it, I'll go around you. Excuse me means you stay there, I'm going to go around you. Don't even worry about it. Don't even pay attention to me. We don't want that. So I tell people, if it's a bigger dog, just kind of go very slowly through the dog so we do not hurt them. But they start to learn, like, what's that smell? Oh, let me get out of your way. Oh, shoot. Let me pay attention to you more so you don't run into me. Which is exactly what we want. We want them to pay attention more to us. So, small dogs, we'll kind of scoot our feet just a little bit because their tootsies are so small and they're so small. So we just kind of scoot our feet right on by, and then they'll start to kind of move out of our way. And you just keep going right through them, straight ahead until they get out of your way, and then you tell them, yes, get out of my way. I just tell my dog, scoot, scoot, get out of my way. And they're just like, okay, mom, okay, yes, thank you. But again, you're just going to go right through them until they're like, oh, let me get out of your way. And just keep on going. Because if you do this, they want to pay attention to you less. Because they don't have to pay attention to you. They don't have to really pay you any kind of mind whatsoever. There's no need. If you start putting a need, then they want to do it more so they're not in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit outside what the loose leash walking might look like. I might throw her a ball just so you can see what it looks like when they pull and what you need to do. Something becomes too exciting, turn around this way. So you start to pull, stop and wait for a focus. It doesn't work, then just start walking the other way. Maybe going back and forth. And they start to realize, like, where are we going? I should probably pay attention more so I can see where we're going, so that I can stay by your side without being kind of tugged. I do tell people, don't use retractables, because they just know I feel a tiny tension and I pull and I get farther away. They do not learn loose leash walking on retractables. Not to mention working with retractables for so many years in the veterinary field and pet training, I have yet to see a retractable leash that has not broke. I saw one break just last week with the Chihuahua. Yeah. And they had one that was meant for a bigger dog, and it still broke. They're very unreliable. Especially when they get to the very end, they become extremely weak and just snap right off. So they're very unreliable, and they do not teach your dog loose leash walking. Not to mention a lot of people who have it don't pay attention to their dogs. Where's my dog? Oh, ran over in the street because I didn't realize they ran that way and I was talking, minding my own business, not paying attention. Very unsafe. Highly do not recommend those. Do not use retractables. I usually just tell them something like this. No bungees, no nothing, just regular nylon leash. Leather, nylon, whatever, something simple, and it's the best training device. So I'll go ahead and show a little bit on what that walkie looks like. Hopefully there's enough light. Hopefully you can see me if I back away. Bird! It is very, very highly recommended that you work with one dog at a time. Just one. So there's no distractions and they can learn. And you don't deal with, what the? There's dogs everywhere. There's six. There's puppies. One at a time. One at a... 10 out of 10 recommended. Always train one dog at a time. I don't have a choice right now, so let's see how it goes. I'll go ahead, making sure, just like this, this way. Yes. Let's go. Yes. Give her some extra yeses anytime she looks at me. Right now she wants to look at the other dogs. I'm just going to back up this way. Give me some focus. You get out of here. Yes. Hey, enough. I gotta handle business real quick. All right, a little bit better. This is going to be my example of excitement, even though Tweedledees and Tweedledums are all out here at once. Go ahead, throw this. So you can see what it looks like what they pull. Hey, hey, you want to walk? Can't go anywhere. You don't follow her over there. You just kind of go this way. Let's go this way. Yes. Let's go this way. Yes. And if she goes to keep walking, I stop. I don't follow her. I go where I want to go, not where she wants to go. If she sees something exciting, let's go this way until one more comes. Yes. Oh my goodness. Here. Run, be free. They're getting too excited. If one dog is not on a leash and the other is on a leash, and they start getting excited like that, it's usually best if they're not on a leash. That way if they need space, they can get space, and they're not forced into one area and possibly get riled up and fight. Humidity is real right now. That's better. It was hot out there. I almost die. I don't know how my shepherd survives in this freaking southern weather. Probably all the water hoses. I don't like it. Just, she's like, yes. Instead of watering daisies, I water shepherds. Anyways, so that's kind of like how we go over walking. Anytime, maybe there's a dog you want to desensitize them to, and start going into desensitizing. There's a dog, they're just like, bark, 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 bark. Cover their face. They can't see it, they can't get riled up. You start, hey, touch my head real quick. Target, come on. You want to focus on me? Do you want to do assist? Start making them work. Target, target, target. Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is. Boop, 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 boop. And they're just like, what dog? What is mom doing? What's dad doing? They're being weird. And then this way. Let's go run over there where we can't see that dog. We're distracting you from that dog. And anytime they see that dog, before they bark, treat. Here's your treat. I do that with my dog Kala. I do that with her all the time because she has very bad dog anxiety. So anytime she sees a dog, I give her a treat. Anytime she sees a person, I give her a treat. So now she walks to everyone. Hi, how nice to meet you. Can I pet you? No. Give her a treat, give the person a treat. Hey, give my dog a treat. And they're like, here you go. Nice open palm. And she starts doing this. Stranger danger's trying to give me candy. Mother told me not to take candy from strangers. So when she does that, and she just seems kind of like, I'm not taking it from your hand. In fact, I might bite you. Then I tell them, don't pet her. What do you want you to do? Look away. Because what's a dog do when they challenge each other? They stare each other in the eyes. So when that happens, look away from the dog. Give them your side so that you're not trying to, challenge them, seem bigger and puffed out. Now you're giving the side. Hey, I'm not trying to actively attack you. I'm going to give you my side. I'm non-threat. Also, I tell people, even bend down, make yourself small, less threatening. Do not talk, do not look, do not try to touch the dog. So you're just going to look away. You're going to give them your side, drop the treat nicely on the ground, or even toss it towards them, get up slowly, and then walk away. So the dog starts seeing other people as a positive, not a negative. And when I see dogs, I let her see him for a quick second, immediately start stuffing her face with treats and walk away to where she cannot see them and give her treats until she calms down. When she's calmed down, let's go look at him again. Little by little, I start getting a couple more seconds where she's kind of seeing these dogs and catching her before she barks. The minute she starts barking, she loses her mind, I have failed. We have to start all the way over. With dog training, anytime you take a step forward and you fail at something, that's 10 steps back. So sometimes you have to go back to the beginning and build them back up. The more you build a dog up with success, the more success you'll have in your training. Going back to basics is okay. It doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're trying to help your dog succeed. With handling desensitizing, I usually tell people have a treat in front of the mouth and just don't let go of it. So they're trying to take that treat from your hand, but they can't. They can kind of taste it. And then touch their ears. I tell people, touch, yes. Touch, yes. That's all you gotta do. And then let go of that treat. Just, here's your treat. Yes, here's your treat. Super easy. Super quick. I get people to do this. Here's your treat. Now I'm going to touch it. No. You hold it there until you're done touching. Because that treat's a distraction. Once that treat's gone, are they going to bite you? What's going to be their reaction? Because I see some dogs, they just hate being touched by their owners. And they just nip at them. So I'm like, have that treat there and just touch them. And then they do this number where the treat's there. They're nibbling on the treat. And then they're like pulling their ear and doing everything and flopping around. Just, yes, you're a good dog. And I'm like, you're giving them too much. That's like introducing a 1-year-old to football for the first time. You want to play this game, buddy? Yeah. And then the whole team tackles them down to the ground. Wasn't that fun for your first time ever? And they're like, you guys are all in your 20s. You tackled me. You broke every bone in my body. It's too much. It's too much. I mean, you go to a party for the first time and you know no one there. They're all strangers. Pretty soon, all these strangers are just like, oh, I love you. Oh, it's too much. I don't want to know you on those bases, okay? What kind of party is this? Get me out of here. Same thing with the dog. Don't overwhelm them. You want them to succeed. You start small. You build them up. Are they successful? Do they like this? Then move up. Yeah, totally. My dog loves pets. Just keep moving them up higher and higher. Give them maybe longer durations. Yes, let's see how they react without a treat. They didn't like me. They didn't nudge me with their nose, and they didn't pull away. Any of those. That tells me any of those 3 things, the dog doesn't like it, they need to be desensitized. Once you get to the point where you can touch them anywhere and they don't care, then start adding a little bit of pressure. That's the only time you start to add pressure, when you can touch them anywhere and they don't lick, nudge, or pull away. So for when I was in the veterinary, can I hold a dog? Or are they getting too nervous? So what I do is I pet them anywhere I'm going to be holding them. Do they like that? They do? Okay, here's some treats, Uh-oh, my phone's dying. No! That's what I get for not charging anything. Okay, so hopefully that's good. Put it on a charger. We are 1% higher. We're doing good. We're not doing good. So desensitizing. I'm going to show you 2 different kinds of dogs. As soon as I figure out how to get the small one in shot. Nope, you can't see it. Roscoe, you're too tiny. You're too tiny, buddy. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? So I got the one who's really good at being petted and one who's sort of good at being petted. Okay, I'm just gonna lay down. You can't see him if you lay down, buddy. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Bye. Let me see if I can get this a little better so you can see him. There he is. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? So, if I touch him, he moves his paw. Touch. Anyways, I go to touch his ears. Yeah, he likes that nice, good massage. Oh boy, that feels good. Now we go touch the paws. I don't like that, Mom. I'm gonna pull away. I'm gonna hit you my nose, and I might lick you a little bit. I'm gonna touch the belly. Oh, he likes that. I'm gonna touch the back. And again, he likes that. Now I'm gonna go to the tail. I'm gonna touch the tail. And again, you're just gonna kind of lightly touch it. I see a lot of people who are just like, I'm gonna grab their foot, I'm gonna grab their tail, and then I'm gonna yank it. I'm like, I wouldn't like that either, honestly. But you notice your dog has an issue with something. Trusty treats. You're gonna let them gnaw on it, touch, yes, until you can touch them anywhere, and they're just like, yeah, I don't care. Your groomer and your vet will thank you. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Anyways, I love you. I really do. I bet you can hear Saturn with those ears. Anyways, so when you're doing this, you want him to get used to laying down this way, or standing. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Yes. You know, in the sitting position, in the standing, we stand. I got a treat right there. It's right there. There it is. Let's get him to stand just a little bit. Come on. This is kind of an example. Take it. Oh boy. Oh boy. And the way I did that, just so you can kind of see, I can pet his tummy when he lays down. A lot of dogs can have their tummies scratched and petted when they're laying down. But can your dog do it when they're sitting? Can your dog do that when they're standing up? I noticed that little Jim when I was working with my shepherd. I wanted to get her ready for the vet, and I started petting her tummy. I'm messing with her, and she's like, I don't care. I like this. She goes to stand up, and I'm like, let me touch your tummy, and she does this. She just like, she just kind of sucks in, and her back just kind of arched. She's like, yeah, I don't like that. Stop. Same thing with him. No, I can't touch his belly when he stands up, but I can touch his belly when he lays down. So changing it up will help them. That way, in any kind of situation, they'll still be able to do it. They'll still be desensitized. Now, Jade is desensitized to the fullest. I would take her to the vet college. I would take her to the vet clinic. I took her to an office job, and now I take her to training classes. But there's a reason. She's a good dog. Jake, get out of here. Jake. Yes. So with Jade, paw, she'll willingly give me her paw. I can play with her tootsies. I can play in between her. Oh, sorry, she's she can't hold the position too long. But I can go in between her toes. I can, take each tootsie and play with them, all the little toe beans. They can, just touch her arm. I can do with that, whatever, and she goes boneless. Boneless. Yes, Daddy started the boat again. Gosh, darn it, focus, Jay. I love you. I know. Why did he buy a boat? Why did he buy a boat? Daddy's in boats. I don't understand. But, treat. With Jade, I can touch her anywhere. I need to touch your eyes. I need to see her teepers. Say ah. Yes. I can touch the feetsies. I can touch the back. I can touch the tail. I can touch these feetsies. And she just she starts to go to sleep. Yeah, that's Jade. That's Jade. Look at, there's a treat there, Jade. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, let's see if we can get you to stand up. Can we stand up? Stand up. And I can touch her belly. Oh, it's a good girl. Yes. Oh, it's a good girl, Jade. Oh, yeah. Oh, that feels good. I can touch the toe beans. I can touch everything. Oh, God, there's dust everywhere. Come on. It's so hard to have a training dog that has to stay clean. And the training dog loves dirt. She loves big clots of dirt. Like, oh, that looks like the driest, dirtiest dirt I've ever seen. I'm gonna go fucking roll in it. Now I'm fucking cake dog. I'm cake dirt dog. I don't know. But these are the difference. You can do anything. With him, you can't do anything. So with him, I have to desensitize him. He doesn't like to be held. She doesn't care. I can hold her like a baby upside down. She's just like, she starts to close her eyes, starts snoring. I'm like, stop. Weird. And then with little Roscoe, Pico Train, Roscoe Jenkins, what have you. Wait, you got hair in your eye. I know you're furry, but you have like a Kala German Shepherd, long 2-inch hair in your eyeball. That's more like 5 inches. Oh, I said 2. Anyways, oh boy, oh boy, oh that was a good paw shake. Yes, yes it was. Oh, it's a good boy. Oh yes, yes. So desensitizing him. Oh, beef liver. Oh yeah, that's good. Touch his ear. Yes, and that's it. Just real quick. He doesn't like his paws touched, so I'll just extra practice on those. Just constant with him, so he's kind of comfortable with that. If a dog becomes too stressed with that kind of stuff, and they're just like, I'm over it. You can't touch me forever. Never again forever. And they just take off running. They're like, I don't like it. Maybe they bite you. Maybe they overlick you. If they become overstimulated, then just stop training. Give them a break. They're like, just like I was saying, you go to a party of people you don't know, and they're just like, hey. You want to go outside immediately, right? You probably even want to go home and never go to that party again. Weirdos. Same thing with your dog. Give them a break. If you go to practice with them and they're just like, well, I guess I could touch his paw now. I don't know why. But if I go to touch him, he's like, oh, I like that. I'm sorry. Then I'll stop, give him a break, let him calm down, and then practice again. And then for picking up, get him used to being touched first, because he does not like being picked up at all. Honey, baby. No, you don't. No, you don't. I don't know why he bites. Don't do that. He's a good boy. He's never bit anybody. Oh, that's good right there. 1, 2, 3. But that's from teaching kids, don't put your face in his face. Other dogs, don't put the face in the face. Other whatnot. If a dog goes face to face, unlike people, that is not seen as pleasantries. That is not the polite thing to do. People go face to face. Hi, how are you? Oh, you're showing me respect by looking at my face. A dog sees an opposite. Why are you looking me in the face? Are you flipping me off right now? Do you want to go? Do you want to do fisticuffs? The most polite thing a dog can do is immediately go to the butt and smell it. And this is because dogs get a lot of information from the booty. They're like, oh, she is 9 years old. She's fixed. She can't have babies. She's missing certain hormones. She might be having too much beef in her diet. Possibly allergic to chicken. And there's possibly a zit on her booty. Recently popped. She's possibly on antibiotics. I mean, they can get so much information for just smelling, and people are just like, what? We can't do that. No, we can't. Dogs are really good smellers. Because search and rescue, they have these little articles with clothing. Dog, go smell this clothes, and go find that missing person. Now you tell a person, go find that missing person. No, I can't. I don't smell shit. Dawn? Did you use Dawn? It's game. A dog is just like, yep, it's a little girl about this age and, you know, this health and whatnot, and they'll go out and they'll go find it. They'll start finding old trails, new trails, and what to follow and what not to follow. They have amazing smellers, sniffers, noses. Very long noses. But they smell so much. They get a lot of information from it. And it's actually very soothing. So if a dog has an issue with, say, you go to a PetSmart or what have you, and they're going in there like, oh, this is terrifying. You're just kind of like, you can't sniff anything. You're depriving them. There's a time and a place for, oh, don't pull. Let you go where I want to go. And there's also a time to actually let them learn the area. Let them smell everything. It's what they call,
there's a name for it, but it's all it is just letting your dog free range to do whatever they want and just smell everything, because it's very calming. They can learn all the information they need because they can't just ask us, "What is that, Mom? Why is it making that noise? It's terrifying." Ah! So let them smell it. Let them be brave. I show people in class all the time. Here's your chair. Here's my little stool. Let them smell that. They smell it. Here's a treat. Yes. You've never seen a stool before. Ooh, good. Here's a treat. Now I'm going to flip that chair, that stool upside down, have the legs stick up. And it freaks dogs out. It's the same chair, but in their brains, it is not the same chair, and now it has tentacles. It's either dead what it is. I mean, it's terrifying. They hate it. So I tell them, mix things up. The same thing they see every day can change slightly, and they just freak out. They're like, they weren't scared of it before. What changed? Is it in a different area? Is it facing something else? Did you put pork on it and take it off and cook it up? And why would you do that? But people do strange things, and they're just like, I don't know why my dog's doing that. What did you do? Nothing. Yes, you did. Tell me the truth, kitty. Boop. He found his food. I like to put his food up high. He likes to find it. He's 12, old man, can barely move. But he likes to hunt for his food still. So his kibble goes in a cat tower and he tries to hunt it down. Mighty killer. Hunting kibble in a cat tower. He likes it though. So yeah, find different things to get your dog desensitized to. Get them out and about. Let them see new things. They want to smell something new. Let them smell something new. Don't make something new negative, or else it'll forever be negative, and then you have to work on desensitizing them. Go away, child! Go away! Trick or treat! This is July! Hi, buddy. How he just did, where someone knocked on the door and he started barking. You can also desensitize him that way. Find what makes him bark and help him get over that. Yes! So my son just barked. My son's barking outside my door. Every time my son knocks, I can give him a treat. Yes! I am very slow right now because my treats are stuck in the bottom of my bag. But yeah, every time my son knocks on the door, yes. And I'm going to keep doing this until the dog doesn't even pay attention, because after a while, you'll start to see a dog going, door, door, door. And they just want to bark, bark, bark. But you start giving them treats, and they're just like, door. Yes.
Open your door.
Yes. They'll even do this number where there's just like, where's my treat? Adam, knock on the door 3 times. I know he can count to 3. He can count to 20. He gets right to 15. He goes 11, 30, hundreds, 15, 14. Yeah, okay, 16, 11, 18, 19, 20. Did it! Yeah, I think he got it to 20, like, a few times, and then suddenly he was just like, yeah, 11D's now a number. Yes. I just made my own knock right now. He saw it. I've been trying to train them that for years, and anytime I knock now, they're just like, I get a treat because I didn't bark at your knock. So now every time I knock, they're just like, I know what you're doing. So you can have someone outside the door and knock, or you can go outside and knock, what have you. But make sure someone is there to give him a treat before he barks. Because once he starts barking, then he's like, I got a treat for barking. Oh, I'm sorry, Jade, I haven't gotten you any treats. I'm sorry, here you go. Also, if a dog starts barking at the mailman, little do you know, anytime the mailman leaves to go to the next house, that dog thinks he won. Look at me bark at that big, strange man with the big bag. Coming up to my property, dropping off papers that I may or may not decide to chew later. Bark, bark, bark. I'm tough. Look at him run away. Look at him run away to the next house. Scum. That dog won. In his brain. Big, small, I don't care. That dog is just like, yep, my barking protected the household. He ran away. Oh dear Lord, my son figured out how to open the door with a child lock on. Don't have smart kids. They find you. My dog, I take.
Treat.
Hey, making a video.
Huh?
Making a video.
Trick or treat.
You have toys. What? Are there?
Boop. He's mad at me again. I told him to get out, so he's throwing his toys at the door. What he doesn't know is once this video is over, he's gonna catch some hands. I don't know if you can hear that, but there was a banshee. His name is Adam. Jade, my goodness, do you want this treat? There you go. Jeez, could have asked politely. Oh. She could have sat, and then I could have gave her a treat. Anytime a dog sits, give him a treat. They start jumping up on you, ignore them. Don't talk to them. Don't touch them. Don't look at them. Hide your hands. Don't say off. Don't push them down. Nothing. Just look away. Don't talk to them. Hide your hands so they can't get to them. Walk away. And then only pet them. Only give them treats when they sit down. And they're like, oh, when I run to you, instead of jumping up on you, I should immediately sit so I can get some lovin's and or treats. Hello. But yeah, this guy, I took him into PetSmart. Didn't think much of it. I take all the dogs to PetSmart. Walk around the whole store. They get treats for being good. This guy refused. Just I'm not going that way. Looking around. There's nothing in there. What could be scaring you? Luckily, my leash was just a little long. It was 6 foot instead of my usual 4 foot. So he was just like, had some space. And we're like, what's scaring you? And I try to walk just to start dropping treats, like little rows of treats. And he starts eating the treats. And then he gets close to the refrigerator for the fresh food section and backs away from it and then goes and just runs. I'm like, oh, you're scared of the fridge. Now I know. So treats everywhere. Forget there's a fridge. Here's treats. So when you're walking them and they start getting scared, don't pull them towards the fear because they'll get more scared. Instead, use treats to distract them so they're not thinking about that fear. And then they're getting treats and everything is great. They can smell it. Anytime they're brave, treats, yes. Happiness, yes. This is all positive. And I don't care how new or scary it is. The vacuum even. Just turn on the vacuum for a second. 1 second. Sometimes 2. Ooh, fancy. Just turn it off. Here's a treat. Treat. If it's too much, even just for a second, you just kind of have it in their mouth. Just like, oh, look at that treat. Yes. He's like, I don't, what is that? What is that? I have a cat in my head. Peekaboo. So yeah, that's handling as many times as you possibly can. Touch your dog. If they don't like it, use a treat. And if they're still just like, oh, this is the worst thing ever, or they start moving away, then stop. Give them some time. Try it again. Leash walking. We went over that. Don't let them pull you around. You are in charge of the walk, not the dog. The dog's not paying attention to you because they probably see that there's no need to pay attention to you. There's no incentive. There's nothing. It's just like, hey, you're leading this walk, buddy. Have at it. Instead, walk through your dog gently. Walk through your dog. Praise them for looking at you and paying attention to you. And don't let them pull. Don't follow them in a pull, or else they think, oh, pulling is fantastic. And then next week, no. Is it week 4? Anyways, I'll kind of go over that. I'll show you guys trying to get to a treat. I'll show my dog with a treat. Trying to walk to the treat calmly. And then once we get to the treat, I like to tell my dog, leave it. Now I'm going to walk past that treat. And I'm going to give you maybe 3 treats. Just yes, yes, yes. Here's your treats. For leaving that 1 treat on the ground alone. Oh my god. I swear I didn't give them sugar tonight and they act like they had coffee and a full thing of cake, a sheet of cake with coffee. Espresso, to be exact. Jesus Christ, they have screamed like banshees the whole time I've been in here. It even got worse, and just like crying, and just like, why am I getting in my way? You ever tell your dogs, stop it, bad, bad child, bad. Go to your corner, go to your corner. Sit. Thank you. Yes. Okay, you may come out. I have. I've literally told my dogs, they're my dogs now. I've literally told my kids every dog training cue that I use with the dogs. I'm just like, sit. Yes. Okay, you can come out. Up, in the car. I tell my dogs, up. They jump in the car. I tell my kids, up. Go to your bed. Same thing with the dogs, go to your bed. Only with this one, I tell him, kennel. My leg fell asleep. But, did I remember my last video if I went over kennel training, actually? Kennel training, never a punishment. Make sure you have plenty of good things in there. Never make them feel caged. It's like someone, hey, get used to this cage real quick. Slam! Goodbye. Then they're like, I'm a prisoner, and this is how I get the lotion on the skin kind of deal, okay? No, that's terrifying. Stays open. They go in and out when they want. That's their space that they love. That's their bed, their comfort area. Somewhere they can go to get away from children, to get away from everything. I have a special treat. I'm going to go to my bed. We don't want them to like, oh, there's prison. I don't want to go to prison. Come on, spring, time to go to prison. No, I don't want to go there. I want in your bed, though, because there's no cages. Everything fell asleep. My leg, my foot. Oh, God. I think Adam just found out the hard way that we don't make sister cry. Sister punches back. Yes, she's 3 years younger, but she... Really, Jade? You have a fat butt, Jade. I know you're a tiny, petite dog, but you have a fat butt. You knocked over everything. Yeah, the kennel. I think we went over potty training. I just went over briefly for jumping today. Handling, desensitizing. Oh, I forgot one. Pets, don't pets. So whether... Oh, shoot. I did it. I thought it's... Okay. So petting, don't petting. What I mean by that, either you're going to go pet a dog or someone's going to pet your dog. You go to pet a dog, you know, usually people are like, can you want to smell me, Spring? Yes, who's a good boy? But if you go to pet a dog and their ears go back, their eyes get super wide and you can see the whites of their eyes, what they call whale eyes. And they're just like, oh, I don't want you to pet me. My ears go back. I don't like it. No. Run behind mom. Don't force them. Let a stranger caress you. Goodbye, gone. I'm selling you to the stranger. Go. It's terrifying. I want you to think about it like, how would you feel in that situation? Hey, let that stranger pet you. Goodbye. Get in their space. Let them get in your space. Let them hold you like this. I love you. Yeah, that's not fun. At all. A dog backs away from a person. Don't force them to pet your dog. Don't let that person force themselves to pet your dog. It's okay to tell people no. If they don't want to say no, again, think of it from a dog's point of view. Or think of it just, it's probably the rudest thing a person can possibly do. No, you can't do that. Well, I'm going to do it anyways. Like, hey, here's my last cupcake.
Adam, what's your problem?
Hey, can I eat your cupcake? No, you cannot. Too bad. What you going to do? I did it. Punch someone in the face. I don't care. That's your life. If you assault, I don't know. Just do you, boo-boo. But you tell someone no, they should be able to respect that. If they get upsetty spaghetti, they probably deserve to live. But I think that's it. Petting, don't petting. If the dog's interested, yeah, go for it. If they don't seem interested, then again, like I was saying, actually at the beginning of the video, look away. give them your side, don't talk to them, just drop a treat and walk away. Because you walking away will give them relief, and they're also getting a special treat from, say, a stranger, and then strangers become less of a threat. Um, but I think that is it for this week. Continue practicing from week 1, week 2, and then Tuesday I'll upload another video for week 3, which is going to be the take it, leave it, drop it, wait. And that's waiting at the door, leaving things alone. Take the item, yeah, and drop it. If you can for next week, if you want to try a retriever roll, my go-to is rawhide free retriever rolls. All it is just like something like a little chewy toy that's just rolled up real tight, real long item, and that's to get them to actually bite onto something and then practicing that drop it. If they're resource guarding, we'll go into that for that week. Then you can use toys with the resource guarding again. I can show you kind of how to get past that before going into the drop it. But yeah, other than that, I think that is it. By now, the dog should be up to about 3 or 5 seconds on that focus and the sit. So keep practicing with that. By week 6, they should be up to about 10 to 15, even sometimes 20 seconds, depending on how hard you've been practicing. The only way this can succeed is how much you practice. The more you practice, the more results you get. The less you practice, the less results you get. So make sure to keep practicing next week. Take it, leave it, drop it, wait. Bye. How do you hit pause?